hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and on Street Talk, what we do, we talk about things that's happening here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. And on Street Talk, we deal with political, social, and economics. Now, joining me tonight is one of my best friends and also co-producer of Street Talk, Mr. Patrick Maynard.
Good evening. Glad to be with you again, Ahmad.
We got a lot to cover, so I'll set up my point, and then we'll work off of whatever you got there.
All right.
The way I look at this last election was that the first George Bush election, they cheated, and nobody can tell me that they didn't cheat with this election. No way that that she could be up, Hillary Clinton could be up 3 points, 4 points, 5 in some states, and all of these other, and then
only some double figures.
Yeah, and on election night, we won't know until later. We won't know until this or later. So the thing, what I'm saying is that again, no one can tell me that this election wasn't fixed again. You know, it was fixed when George Bush was elected the first time, and it was also fixed this time. Now.
Well, when you look at all the pieces, it will give you the impression, and one could come to the conclusion, that something was going on in the background. Something wasn't kosher. And believe me, I still think it should be seriously looked into. All this demonstration and thing going on right now in so many states and major cities seems to be saying people are aware that something wasn't right. What is it? Somebody has to find out. And hopefully before long, and preferably before time for him to take office.
Well, you know, the thing is that, you know, I've said for the last 35, 40 years that, you know, the election thing, you know, we get out to vote because we have to vote. You know, as minority people, we have to vote. No matter what happened, we have to vote because the price was paid for us so many years ago when they was killing us and injuring us and all these different things, just for us to have a chance to vote. I watched my people stand in line all day long and the line never moved to have a chance to vote, and they couldn't vote. So in 1964, in 65, we got that chance, and things have changed since then. But on the other hand, I look at the election of Bush, and I look at the election, the one just happened, and we see that Hillary was up 3, 4, 5 on all these, and now Trump wins, So again, the election are rigged, and it's really a sad state, because we send people to other countries to see that their election is fair, and right here, this one is not
We
fair.
can't even have a fair one at home.
No.
So, how do we address that? What do we do to straighten that out? Are we going to sit back and say, well, it's constantly complaining? Are we going to address the matter to the appropriate people? And by the way, one of the big problems with election in this country, and I'm talking the national elections, like the president, it's not controlled by the national government. It's every state. And in every state you go, every county has its own way of doing whatever. This is a national election. It should be controlled from the national government, not each state handling it. And by so doing, you are making it more likely that some cheating could go on, that somebody could do something inappropriate. I heard just on this last election that somebody refused to count any votes that night, decided, I'm tired, I'm going home to sleep. Didn't even show up with them early next day. The police had to go to get them. So things like that makes you wonder.
Well, the elections has been going down since 1980, when Ronald Reagan made his speech in Philadelphia, Mississippi, and it's been below 40%. Below 48% ever since then. Mm-hmm. And I can see where a lot of people don't vote, but minorities should always vote, and I was reading, because I haven't, I heard, and I was also reading, but I haven't picked up a newspaper, I haven't listened to radio, I haven't done anything where I could get news, anything. My lady tells me something about news, some of the news, but I just don't read nothing. But the elections now, it's just, they're so what I want to say, so mixed up and everything, and so fixed in everything. Mm-hmm. And there's no one can ever tell me, even though this election, this last election, blacks didn't vote as they did with Obama, and that's really a simple shame, because our people they paid with their lives and also their limbs for us to have a chance to vote, and then we got some blacks won't vote. So again, and we seen the voting population kind of down, but again, no one can tell me that Trump got the most votes. No one. I don't care how.
Actually, I think Hillary ended up with the popular vote. Hold a second. That's another thing I have a concern about. If we are a true democracy, why is it the one who wins the popular votes doesn't necessarily become president? Why do we have to go to this electoral college system? Now, you could get all kinds of things going on there in this electoral college system. And of course, a lot depends on who these people are. Maybe we just need to bring it to a plain and simple, the one who got the most votes. Because here we are saying the majority doesn't really have sway. Because in democracy, the minority has its say, but the majority holds sway. In this case, the majority does not hold sway because of this electoral college system. And then if you're going to use it, why are we stuck on winner take all? After all, if 55% of the, well, let's bring it closer, 51% of the people voted for you and 49 for me, why are you going to get all 50 instead of sharing them? I think it would do better if they were to share. So we have what we call proportionate representation. That to me is more equitable.
Well, the thing is that, as I said before, we will go around the world to other countries to make sure their elections are fair and square and everything. And right here in this country, we just got a mess. We just got a real mess in this country. And right now, for the next 4 years, we're dealing with everything Republican, and I've been trying to tell some people.
Hopefully not more than 2 years.
Well,
if they change Congress next 2 years.
But we had a chance to get. In fact, we had a chance to get both houses this time.
Yes.
And do you know, all we needed was 5 to get one house, and the other one, I forget how many we needed. We could have got both houses. So again, it's just it's a thing where I just don't get it. People, they won't get out to vote. And with all of this cheating and everything, I can see where some won't get out to vote, but that's not the thing. You got to get out and vote before you can say anything. Someone over here, like I was in the store the other day, the same day the election was, and some black young man. Oh, we don't need no lady. We want Trump. It's like a man who despise you, but you talking about you want him. A man who, far as he's concerned, you should be in jail. But you out here talking about we want Trump. We don't want no lady. So, it's just an attitude. I don't know when it would change. Me and one of my fellow guys go to the Y, Dennis. We talk about this all the time, and I just don't know what's going to happen.
Listen, let's look at it. The Democrats, first off, should blame themselves for not winning.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, the choice. Hillary, yes. Personally, I thought she should have had a Hispanic. I would have wanted to see a younger person, Hispanic, because you got to make things clear. We are going to be inclusive. Hispanics are a tremendous voting group. But apart from that, we have qualified Hispanics in the Democratic Party. I'm sure you have in the Republican as well. That's one part. Short of that, when you look at how the primaries went, it was basically Hillary and Bernie. And the thing was, feel the burn. The burn was burning. And that should have told Hillary, hey, this man is reaching the kind of people I really want on my side.
Mhm.
But I'm not reaching them.
Mhm.
I am reaching this group. So, hey, Bernie, let's burn together
Mhm.
and bring him on board with you. And I guarantee you they would have won the election then. But, sorry.
Go
but
ahead.
you find we have our own ideas of what and who we want, and we totally block out other possibilities. And that was, to me, one of the problems there.
I totally agree. She got this guy from I forget his name, from Virginia, and
he's an all right guy.
Yeah, and
It's
he
nothing
won.
against him.
He won. They won Virginia, but as you were saying, I just believe it would have been more votes would have come to Clinton.
Listen,
if she had gotten
we
him.
would not have been here now discussing this, because had she put Bernie on the ticket with her, considering the tremendous following he had,
Mhm.
Bernie had all of those young people
Oh,
who
yeah.
were behind Obama.
Yeah.
She couldn't control that.
No.
He did.
Yeah.
So, your best bet, let's come together. Bernie, yes, we disagree on some things, and that's normal.
Mhm.
But let's pool our resources here,
Mhm.
our ideas,
Mhm.
just like they got together after
Mhm.
and talk about college and
Yeah.
tuition and everything. They
Yeah.
could have done that with other areas and made a wonderful team.
And the thing is that for me and others who think like I do, this was the biggest election that we will ever see in our lifetime.
Probably.
And the reason I say that is because we got 4-4 on the Supreme Court.
Mhm.
And do you know the next president,
And Trump was touting that.
he'll get a chance to appoint at least two people, and you know what he's going to do. He's going
Well,
to
he has said plainly,
yeah, oh
you
yeah.
you must be against and willing to overthrow Roe v. Wade.
Yeah. So
if that is the test of jurisprudence, we don't have any in this country. Period.
Right. So with him pointing to, so right away,
6-3.
that's it. And for the next 50 years, man, because
Unless some of them die out quickly.
well, what he's going to do, he'll be there 4 years. So we got a couple of old Democrats there. We got this one lady,
Ginsburg.
yeah, she's 70-some years old, So he's going to first he point number 9, and then if she one of the other people decide to quit, so that's going to be 2 right there. And like I was been telling people, this country's going to be messed up, man, for the next 50 years.
All right. Now, talking about elections, we see a lot of irregularities.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about that. But I was struggling with a question a couple of days ago. What happens if the president-elect and the vice president-elect should both die or in some way totally incapacitated that they cannot take office? And I'm talking about before inauguration. Now, it seems as though there's some mechanism in the works that will take care of this. But I I still have to wonder further. You see, the one question keep leading to something else. It talks about who can qualify to be president of this country. Now, of course, you got the three simple things, right? According to the Constitution, you must be a natural born citizen. All right? You must be 35 years of age, live in this country at least 14 years. Excuse me. And, you know, this sounds okay, but it is not a lot of meat to it. But then they went so far about who must be disqualified. And that's a part I want us to spend a time on. I'm looking here, all right, in Article 2, Section 4, disqualification. And I'm going to read. The President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Good. It says the President and this. What about somebody now seeking the office of President? What disqualifies him? Let me jump in something here. In this past election, we know certain things happened. There was some hacking. It was only on the one side, not the other.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to the hacking, we heard Trump inviting the Republican, the
Putin.
Russians, Putin, to hack into the system here. Now, that's a man trying to be president inviting our arch enemy to hack our system. That's one. Then, we're going to get the October surprise. Then we had WikiLeaks, and all these hacked documents came out. All right. As if that wasn't enough. Well, we know the hacking stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Right after the election, the first to call Trump, Putin.
Mm-hmm.
They had a celebration, drinking the champagne or vodka, whatever it was, celebrating his victory. Now the Russians are saying, yes, we were in contact with the Trump campaign all along.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do these amount to? Do they amount to the level of treason or a serious misdemeanor? I don't know. This is for the legal scholars to answer, the constitutional scholars. They ought to come up with something on that. But from my humble position, I would like to venture to say that something here rises at least to a misdemeanor and a serious one. I see some kind of crime in inviting the enemy into our political elections. On top of that, Ahmad, on top of that, when you look at the way the ballots went, the voting, the elections results, and everything, it is too... Well, let me throw in here before I go there. 2 days. Remember, the Friday, a week, 9, 11 days before election, the Friday, this Comley or whatever his name is came out. Oh, we are going to reopen the investigation on Hillary and these emails because we found some things on this computer. Even before you verify what these are. Now, again, you should not make the announcement until you have something.
Yeah.
He had nothing. All along, Trump was saying it's rigged. Good. But 2 days before his announcement, Giuliani got on television and clearly stated, wait and you see what's going to happen in the next 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
He was already, well, boasting,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
signifying,
Mm-hmm.
announcing
Mm-hmm.
that in 2 days something big is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
2 days later, this announcement from Comley.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At the 2 days before election day, he go, oh, well, we didn't find anything, nothing changes.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, look at what happened during that space of time. Trump bumped up,
Mhm.
Hillary kicked down
Mhm.
in the polls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outcome in the long run, the total Trump supposedly won.
Mm-hmm.
Now you tell me there wasn't some. How did Giuliani know something big coming out then? Why was Trump touting that we're going to have the October surprise and right after we had the WikiLeaks? Why was Trump asking Russia to intervene, to hack, and then we had these hacked emails? Come on, give me a break. This is not happenstance coincidence.
Well, you know, all of this went on, and again, goes back to back earlier what I said about the election. You know, we had it with when George Bush was first elected. You know, they down in Florida took 2 weeks and to erase ballots and throw ballots away and all that, and then they come up with, oh, this will be the only time. But George Bush is finally winner. So that happened then, and this election, and again, this is the biggest election this country will ever have, because what they will do, what this president and vice president will do, is going to set this country back 50 to 100 years. This country will be set back to 50 to 100 years, and all of these other things that was involved, and all these wrongdoings and all these other things, hey, they would never get to any place where we can have some say-so over them. They'll never get there, you know. So that's, you know, excuse me, that's what I'm saying. You know, by law, you know, he should have a lot of things to face. But hey, we got, like I said, both houses Republican, and all they're gonna do now is work on reversing things that Obama has set in motion.
And I'm serious on this. I honestly believe the Justice Department should look into some of these things, because like I say, I am not an attorney, I am not a constitutional scholar, but something smells fishy. It looks fishy. And believe me, it is fishy.
Heat the texture of your hair. Who taught you to heat the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to?
Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine, messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.